Welcome back. If it has joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our top stories tonight. A bloody day in Borno as suspected terrorists massacre 52 people and burn over 300 homes. Another huge revenue loss for the nation with the burst of NNPC pipeline in Ijegun area of Lagos. Senate screens service chiefs of first since the return to civil rule in the country. And serious talks end in a deadlock in Geneva. Negotiators disagree on the divisive issue of transfer of power. Read up details on all our top stories on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. But to get us on the move, then visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. You can also interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platform. So if you have a picture or video to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to review the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and videos. Another petroleum product spill has occurred in Ijegun community, a suburb of Lagos, southwest Nigeria. A cause of the spill is yet to be determined, just as the entire area is covered with the products now identified as premium motor spirit. Emergency agencies are currently managing the situation to forestall any disaster. Back in 2008, a pipeline explosion which occurred in the area left scores of people dead. Residents are hoping this spill will be contained early enough to avoid another tragedy.
This is Ijegun Imoro new site community tucked behind the nation's foremost Navy barracks in Lagos. Like a few communities in and around the nation's commercial capital, beneath this area lies petroleum product pipes. As a community lying few meters from the sea, it wouldn't be strange finding water congregating around. But what you see here instead is PMS.
Suddenly we just detected that there is crude on our water, and since then all the living creature inside the water, people, even though to breathe is very hard for us, and this is total health hazard in our area.
With all the attendant hazard associated with this incident, many residents had to flee for fear of possible explosion. Breathing is difficult, aquatic life completely destroyed. Look at this beautiful crab that has just been upset and looking so weak, almost dead, owing to the PMS that has enveloped all of the water in this area. And for us, it's also very difficult because the stench from the water is so strong, and we've been advised by the officials here that it's also very inflammable and not good enough for our health. Just as officials battle hard to contain the gush, we will try as much as possible. Immediately this system is shut down now, I mean, once the repair is done, the cleanup exercise will start by the grace of God. Part of our findings also shows that these houses may not be in good proximity to the underlying pipelines. Officials of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation are yet to react in terms of revenue loss, remedial actions, and a long-term solution as regards the exposure. Again, what nobody has come out to say is if another act of sabotage has happened or a case of a failed pipe. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Well, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has pruned down the allegations of money laundering leveled against the former aviation minister Femi Fani-Kayode from an initial 47 counts charge of laundering about 230 million naira. The charges were reduced today to 40 counts of laundering about 100 million naira. The federal government is prosecuting Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode at the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos. The arraignment of the former aviation minister on the amended charges was, however, stalled today as his counsel, Ifedayo Adedipe, objected to the charges on the grounds that it was invalid. He refused to allow his client make his plea. The defense counsel said it was objecting to the validity of the charges in line with Section 167 of the Criminal Procedure Act. The trial judge, Justice Rita Ofili Ajumogobia, has asked both the prosecution and defense counsel to file their written addresses and adjourn ruling on the matter to February the 3rd. We're still in the courts here in Lagos. The High Court has threatened to close the case of the prosecution over its failure to produce its witnesses in the murder trial, which arose from the protest against fuel subsidy removal in January 2012. A divisional police officer with Penn Cinema Police Division in Lagos, Segun Fabumi, who has now been dismissed from the police force, is standing trial before the court for allegedly shooting Adedamola Daramola to death at the Yerabaton Agege area of Lagos during the protest. A trial judge, Justice Olabisi Akinlade, frowned at the inability of the Director of Public Prosecution to produce its witnesses in court today, even though the defendant, who was on bail, was present in court with his lawyer, Mr. George Oguntade. The Director of Public Prosecution, Mrs. Olabisi Ogunbeshon, who appeared for the prosecution, had told the court that the investigative police officer in the case, who was the witness scheduled to testify today, was appearing before a magistrate's court in Ikeja. She urged the court to stand down the matter till 12 p.m. to enable the IPO appear in court. This angered Justice Akinlade, who described the request as an insult to the court. After turning down the prosecution's request to stand down the matter, the court threatened to close the prosecution's case if it failed to produce more than one witness in court at the next hearing date. Justice Akinlade has adjourned further proceedings till February the 18th. And let's join Linda Akube now in our Abuja studios for more on the news at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi, and thank you for joining us here in Abuja. About $25.4 billion has been moved out of Nigeria through cross-border movement of cash and financial instruments between 2009 and 2013. This is according to the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Lamode, who has warned operators of bureau de change across the country to record customers' identity before carrying out any transaction. He was speaking to journalists after meeting with the operators in Abuja, where he revealed that the commission is investigating the activities of 236 operators whose licenses were withdrawn by the Central Bank of Nigeria in January 2013.
The bureau de change operators, some of them just obtain these licenses, they give other people to operate them. They don't even operate them. They don't even know what do you call it? The rules governing the operations of this bureau de change. And by their nature, they deal in cash. And unfortunately, whether it is out of ignorance or the deliberate violation of the law, they tend to deal in so much cash without reporting these transactions to the appropriate authority. This is why we are concerned. There's no bank you go into, especially with the cashless policy now that we're operating, and the limits of cash transaction to about 150,000 naira. Everything you do, you either transfer the money electronically, which means you leave trail, or even if you issue check, people can trace the check to somebody, either the issuing authority and the cashing authority. Whoever is going to clear the check in his account or her account, you will see it. It's there. You can always demand for if it is not reported, you can demand for it, you can see it. But if somebody walks into a BDC with a bag full of money and drops it and walks out with the equivalent in whatever currency, I mean, the person disappears.
Ijaw and Ishekiri communities around the Warri base of the Nigerian Ports Authority are demanding a memorandum of understanding for development and employment in the community from Intel Nigeria Limited, a company operating at the ports. During the protest, the youths of the community say they have been marginalized. Our correspondent Yomi Otaibe reports.
aggrieved youths from the Ugwagbe community and other host communities located near the Warri Port of the Nigerian Ports Authority. Out in their numbers, the youths decided to peacefully vent their frustrations over issues arising from an alleged insensitivity on the part of Intel Nigeria Limited, a private concern that deals in cargo services at the port.
People have more than 500 staff, if I'm not mistaken. How many outside the community? In local quarter, we are supposed to get 60% of whatever employment. Some people know those things.
We don't get work. We don't let the work. I want to work 8 years. Better give me work. We want work. We don't want the court go again. I don't go worry with the hustle. I don't got TV for us. I can't go work bill. Better give me work. I let work. I mean weather, raw marine weather.
The manager of the Warri Port, while calming frayed nerves, promised to look into the matter.
I want to show you today that listen to all you have said. I want to tell you that as I'm standing here today, I'm representing MPA. And MPA is the owner of the port. And then if there's anything going wrong in that port, MPA cannot pretend not to be responsible. And if MPA is responsible, I am responsible. And to that extent, I want to assure you that any level of meeting you want in Intel, I will arrange it.
An idle mind is said to be a playground for negative ideas. A quick resolution of the issues that triggered these protests by all parties concerned could prevent future protests that may not be as peaceful. Yomi Otaibi, reporting for Channels Television News.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Linda. And when the News at 10 returns, First Bank unveils its new logo. That will be Business News. Do join us again.